What's up, guys?
All right, Rich, we'll start things off with you.
Yeah, let's revisit Virginia Tech's running game. What can you tell us about the three backs? I mean, are they all different? I only look at stats. You look at film.
Yeah, well, I think it starts up front, Rich. Every one of their offensive linemen is over 300 pounds, and they're all really big and long. And then we talked about 21 yesterday. He's big and strong. He's really he's a good zone runner. He cuts the ball back. He makes people miss. He runs people over. He can outrun you. Like I said, I think he's going to be a very good NFL running back. So he gets the bulk of everything. And then the transfer from Rutgers is a dynamic player. He was there. He was probably the best player on that team. Just, looking at their film from last year when I was obviously at Ohio State. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. They use both of them at the same time in different personnel groupings to try to cause mismatches. Very well coached in the run game.
Let's go back to the offensive line. Do they just get good push off the ball? I mean, they're big size guys. So is it just driving people back? Are they just a power offensive line?
Well, they have some zone scheme, some gap scheme. They're just big and long, and they can move their feet. They've recruited really well on offense, Rich. It's very, very clear what a good job they've done. So, yeah, they're big, long, they're strong, they have good feet. They can get on the perimeter and get running. They can pull, and then, they can just get push. I mean, 300 yards a game, you got to give credit to the O-line and the O-line coach. I mean, it's impressive.
We'll go to Dan.
Coach, first, I fixed it. Finally fixed it.
Yeah,
second, when you talk about gap schemes and zone schemes, what goes into kind of deciding that from your perspective? Because I know every team runs a different gap scheme or runs a different zone scheme. And how do you defend against that on the line?
Well, I mean, in college football right now, it's pretty much, whether it's counter or power. Now it's the quarterback counter or quarterback power. It's the zone scheme. Is it true stretch or is it inside zone? Is it involve the quarterback reading and keeping? I'd imagine you gotta pick and choose. Tough to be really good at all of them. But I think over time, when you get a team like this, I believe he's been there for 5 years, right? You get time and you can really build the system and add, and he's done a really good job doing it. And I think, if you look at our offense, it's going to be the same thing. If you guys watch us right now, we're pretty different each week, and you start to see some new stuff come out every week in the run and in the pass game. We have some quarterback run game that you saw a little bit more of last week where, Phil reads stuff and keeps the ball, and you see some pullers, and obviously the zone game is what we like to do. So I think, as the longer we're together, you'll see us evolve and do more and more. I guess that's trying to answer your question, Dan.
We'll go to Rich.
Gentleman was on with us yesterday. He was just talking about locking down his eyes on the player he's supposed to cover, and that's how they protect against play action and different things. Just how did that all come about? Because I guess the film thing on Monday.
Yeah, Rich, eye discipline is one of the most important things in defensive football. Sometimes guys see too much and they don't see anything. And then if you really focus in and you see what you're supposed to see, you wind up seeing so much more. A lot of guys say, see a little, see a lot, see little. And that's so true. And even in the NFL, it's with the DBs and the guys who are supposed to be covering people, their eyes wander. If I'm covering you man to man, Rich, my eyes need to stay on you wherever you go. As soon as I sneak a peek inside and look at the quarterback, that's usually when you get beat. And it's hard. You have to be really disciplined with your eyes. And we constantly preach about it. So if you think about a team runs a play action pass and a guy blocks for a second and then he runs down the field. Well, if I take my eyes off of that guy and then I get him in the backfield, the next thing you know, I'm going to see the receiver catch the ball. I'm not going to be defending him. So you got to be really disciplined, reading your keys and playing with great eyes.
Go back to Dan.
How much of that winds up being communication as well between different teammates? Like if a guy has locked his eyes somewhere to have someone communicating to him to say, hey, keep an eye out for something else, or to communicate back and forth to where you're looking and what you're seeing?
Yeah, well, it depends what scheme we're playing. If we're in man and my job is to cover you, then I should be looking at you the whole entire down no matter what. But if we're playing zone, and say I'm reading the end man on the line of scrimmage and I get a pass read, then I might have to go to the quarterback. So it's the transferring of your eyes. Where do you start? Who's your initial key? Who's your second key? And you got to be really disciplined, especially, if you're playing zone coverage, your eyes might transfer. We talk about all the time, if I'm a middle safety and I'm reading the quarterback, when he throws the football, we always talk about eyes before feet. So my eyes have to transfer to the target before my feet, because if you don't, you're going to drift and you're not going to make a play. So, being disciplined in zone coverage and having good breaks, it's eyes before feet. Wherever your eyes go, your body's going to follow. And I know I feel like I'm coaching you right now, Dan, but I hope that answers your question.
That's why I ask it. I like getting the education of it.
You can use it on your flag football team, Dan.
Oh, those days are way behind me. My knees are gone.
We'll go to Rich.
Yeah, just talk about the cornerbacks a little bit. They're in pass coverage, but they also need them in run support for a team that's going to run the ball this many times. Is that kind of a particular challenge for Brandon and Josh?
I think they've done, Rich. I think our corners have tackled really well, which is a credit to Coach Azar. I mean, last game, both Sebastian and DeBerry made some really, really big tackles. The one Sebastian made in zone, he came up, they checked the ball down to the back, and I think it was a 1-yard gain. And I think DeBerry had 6+ tackles. So yeah, for sure. Anytime you're gonna play it back as good as this one, you need eyes on him, and you need guys running to the ball outside in and making sure he doesn't get outside. And then you got to hit him low, and you got to wrap and roll, and you got to make sure you get him to the ground. So I think everybody on our team is going to have a challenge with tackling this week, and we'll definitely be up for it.
Go ahead, Rich.
And just talk about their defense, especially the pass defense. I know their run defense is a little down, but the pass defense looks pretty good. What's Phil going up against this week?
Well, he's going up against a team that's one of the top teams in sacks, so they're going to get after the quarterback. I know their 2 DNs are good players, and their linebackers are good players. So they'll blitz us, but they definitely have the D-line to get after it, and they're aggressive on the perimeter. I know they're going to get some DBs back. I know a lot of guys have been out for them, so we'll probably see some different players, but we got to protect up front, and we got to continue to do what we do and execute the game plan.
All right, Jeff, it looks like it's all our questions. Thank you very much.
Kevin, you didn't want to talk to me today, man?
I came on late, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, man. I'll see you guys. I appreciate your time as always. Tell Julie we really missed him today, Dan. What are we doing?
Hey, at least can't screw up the mute if you're not on, right?
Hey, Julian can't get fined, Rich, if he doesn't show up, man.
There
You guys
go.
have a great day. I appreciate you guys.
Will do.